Good morning to all. Welcome to e-classes. Myself Ramatenki Rajava, lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, GMR Polytechnic, Utnur, Adilabad district. I am going to teach you Power System 3. On completion of this class, you would be able to understand busbar protection, types of schemes for busbar protection, busbar arrangements, fillet wire protection, protection of transmission lines using distance or impedance relays, combination of definite distance and time distance relays. These topics discussed in this class. So first one, busbar protection. The protection of busbars is very important since they form a vital part of the supply system. Busbar protection. The protection of busbars is very important since they form a vital part of the supply system. Necessity of busbar protection. Busbar protection is needed for the following reasons. First one, in case of a fault on a busbar, the fault current and power may be very large and cause serious damage to the system. Second one, fault on busbars may affect continuity of power supply and cause discontinuation of power to a large portion of the system. Third one, the stability of the system is affected by fault in bus zone. The stability of the system is affected by fault in bus zone. In the case of large power systems, protection of busbar section is very necessary so that fault section are isolated before the fault spreads over the whole of system. Over the whole of the system. For the purpose of protection, the busbar zone includes the busbars, the circuit breakers and isolating switches. When a fault occurs on a particular section of a busbar, all circuit equipments connected to that section must be tripped out to isolate the section completely. When a fault occurs on a particular section of a busbar, all circuit equipments connected to that section must be tripped out to isolate the section completely. Next one, desirable features. The following are the desirable features for a busbar protection scheme. First one, it should select and isolate only the fault section. It should select and isolate only the fault section. It should clear all bus bar faults as quickly as possible. It should avoid the use of multi-tripping relays, and no relay should control more than one circuit. It should clear all the circuits connected to a fault bus bar section. Causes for bus bar faults. The bus bar faults are generally single line to ground faults. So, causes for bus bar faults. The bus bar faults are generally single line to ground faults. The following are the cases for bus zone faults. First one, failure of support insulator resulting in earth fault. Failure of support insulator resulting in earth fault. Second one, flashover across support insulator during overvoltage. Third one, heavily populated insulator causing flashover. Fourth one, failure of connected equipment. Failure of connected equipment. Fifth one, due to earthquake, mechanical damage, etc. Types of schemes for bus bar protection. There are two main schemes of bus bar protection. First one, differential protection. Second one, frame leakage protection. Differential protection, frame leakage protection. First one, differential protection. It is based on simple circulating current principle that during normal load condition or external fault conditions, the sum of currents entering a bus equals the sum of those leaving. Differential protection, it is based on simple circulating current principle that during normal load conditions or external fault conditions, the sum of currents entering a bus equal the sum of those leaving. So, see the circuit diagram. Differential current protection of bus zone. So, top two generators. So, this is the bus bar. CT means current transformers, two parallel connected, each line one, and bus bar below circuit breaker, three circuit breakers, and three current transformers and one relay are connected. This is the straight line bus bar. A simple differential protection of a bus section. The bus bar is fed by generators and supplies load. The load to three lines. The CTs are connected in each circuit connected to bus bar. The secondaries of these CTs are connected in parallel. The protective relay is connected across this parallel connection. All all cities must be of the same ratio. In this scheme, regards less of capacities of various circuits. Regards less of capacities of various circuits. If a fault occurs within the protected zone, the currents entering the bus will no longer be equal to those leaving it. The difference of these currents will flow through the relay and cause the opening of the generator, breaker and each of the line circuit breakers. So second one, frame leakage protection. It is possible to design a station so that falls which develops are mostly earth falls. By providing earthed metal barrier surrounding each conductor in the bus structure. With this arrangement, every fault that might occur must involve a connection between a conductor and an earthed metal part. A conductor and an earthed metal part. Frame leakage protection is normally applied to small sized metal clad switchgear units. Frame leakage protection is normally applied to small sized metal clad switchgear units. The switchgear frame is lightly insulated from its adjusted earthed structural steelwork. For this scheme of protection, the arrangement in this case of station having an incoming transformer and two outgoing feeders, as will be seen from this figure. The switchgear framework is connected to the station main earth through the primary of CT. The secondary of the CTs is connected to sensitive frame leakage relay. In the event of earth fault currents flowing in the switchgear framework, this relay will operate. So frame leakage protection diagram see. So incoming power transformer and two outgoing feeders and switchgear framework also connected, and main switchgear framework to earth through the primary. Frame leakage relay and CT are connected to earth. The secondary CT is connected to a sensitive frame leakage relay. So one is the incoming power transformer, two outgoing feeders and one feeder connected switchgear framework, and one current transformer is connected to earth and secondary current transformer connected to sensitive frame leakage relay. And so incoming power transformer also connected in check relay. So this relay is energized from CT, incoming power transformer CT. These are the circuit diagram of frame leakage protection. The check relay is an earth fault relay energized from a CT mounted in the incoming transformer. Neutral earth connection. The contacts of check relay and frame earth leakage relay are in series. Frame leakage relay are in series, so that two independent relays must operate before the trip circuit is completely. So next one, bus bar arrangements. The aim of any particular arrangement of bus bars is to achieve sufficient flexibility of operation, sufficient reliability and minimum cost. The aim of any particular arrangement of bus bar is to achieve sufficient flexibility of operation, sufficiency, reliability and minimum cost. The following are the typical bus bar arrangements in two types: single bus bar and duplicate bus bar. So first one, single bus bars. This type of layout is meant only for small stations. The basic scheme is see the diagram. So G means generator, CB circuit breaker, S means switch, T means transformer, and LV means low voltage bus bar, HV means high voltage bus bar. These are the outgoing line. So generator is incoming line. So first of all connected. So generator and circuit breaker and next switch and LV bus bar, and once again switch, circuit breaker, transformer and circuit breaker and switch and high voltage bus bar and switch and circuit breaker and feeder going to outgoing line. These are the single bus bar protection, only one way, single line. We are connected in all equipments in only single bus bar. So G, C, B and S denoted generator, circuit breaker and switch or isolator respectively, while T denotes a step-up transformer. So step-up transformer. Present day practice, however, does not favor such a large number of circuit breakers. Circuit breakers on low voltage side of transformer may therefore be omitted in same case. In same cases, the prepared practice on unit system where on generator and one transformer are connected as a unit to HV bus bars is to do away with low voltage switchgear altogether and have only one set of high voltage switchgear. With more generators and outgoing lines connected to the bus bars, it becomes necessary to sectionalize the layout so that a fault on one section does not get completely shut down. This can be done by a circuit breaker. This is called bus coupler and isolating switches. The two bus bar section tied up. So bus section 1 and switch. These are coupling, bus bar coupling and switch and bus section. These are the bus bar coupling. And second one, duplicate bus bars. In this layout, the plant is split into two entirely separate systems which can be worked at different voltages. If desired, both LV and HV bus bars or HV bus bars alone may be duplicated. This is the most flexible layout and is meant for large generating and or transforming stations. This type of layout, in this case of a large generating station having two generators and two outgoing lines connected through the step-up transformer. The use of bus bar coupler converts the duplicate bus bar into a ring system which has great flexibility. Observe the diagram. So two are the outgoing lines and BC bus bar coupler, BC bus bar two lines and LV and HV. So generators two main. So LV and HV bus bars is step up transformer. Two lines are connected in step up transformer. Source S means switch, CB circuit breaker, LV low voltage bus bar, G means generator, S switch, HV high voltage bus bar, BC bus bar coupling. These are the HV side is the duplicate bus bar. And next one, understanding protection of transmission lines and feeders. The transmission lines are used for power transmission over longer distance. So the type of protective devices used are of different nature. Also the transmission lines operate at much higher voltages than the feeders. Operate at much higher voltages than the feeders. The capable feeders are generally used for distribution system and they may operate as radial feeders or parallel feeders or in a ring main feeders. Radial feeders, parallel feeders, ring main feeders. before any protection for a particular period can be decided. It is necessary to realize its maintenance and maintaining supply. Next one, fillet wire protection. Fillet relaying scheme are used for the protection of transmission line sections. In these schemes, some electrical quantities at the two ends of the transmission line are compared, and hence they require some sort of interconnecting channel over which information can be transmitted from one end to the other. Such an interconnecting channel is called a fillet. Three different types of such channels are in use: fillet wire, carrier current fillet, and microwave fillet. So, fillet wire, carrier current fillet, and microwave fillet. The two alternative operating principles which are used for most of the practical schemes are circulating current principle and balanced voltage principle. Circulating current principle and balanced voltage principle. And next one, fillet wire protection using circulating current differential relaying scheme. See the diagram. So CB current transformer, CB circuit breaker, CT current transformer. So indicate the dotted lines, protected lines. So primary side and secondary side, two sides connected in CT and CB, current transformer and circuit breaker. And OC means operating coil, RC restraining coil. Middle one is fillet wires. So see the diagram carefully. So CB, CT. So both sides are connected, and dotted lines is protected line. Under healthy or external fault condition, the secondary currents are equal and circulate in fillet wires. Under normal condition, external faults and differential current of 2 CTs is 0 and relays does not operate. This is the circuit diagram. The schematic arrangements for the circulating current principle. 2 CTs are connected in each protected line, one at each end under healthy or external fault conditions. The secondary currents are equal and circulate in fillet wires. Under normal condition and in case of external faults, differential current of 2 CTs is 0 and relay does not operate. During internal faults, this balance is disturbed and differential current flows through the relay operating coil. Under normal condition and in case of external faults, differential currents of two cities is 0 and does not operate relay. During internal fault, this balance is disturbed and differential current flows through the relay operating coils. Next one, protection of transmission lines using distance or impedance relays. Distance protection is widely used protective scheme. For the protection of high and high extra voltage transmission and subtransmission lines. A distance relay measure the ratio V by I at relay location, which gives the measure of distance between the relay and fault location. The impedance means resistance, reactance or admittance of a fault loop is proportional to the distance between the relay location and the fault point. Proportional to the distance between the relay location and the fault point. An impedance relay measure the impedance of the line. An impedance relay measure the impedance of the line. At the relay location, the relay depends for action upon the impedance between the point where it is located and the point of fault. Where it is located and the point of fault. If the ratio V by I is less than Z, the impedance of the line section being protected, the relay will trip instantly. If V by I is greater than Z, it indicates that the fault is behind the protected line and the relay will not trip. If the ratio V by I is less than Z, the impedance of the line section being protected, the relay will trip instantly. If V by I is greater than Z, it indicates that the fault is behind the protected line and the relay will not trip. There are two types of distance relays: definite distance relay, time distance relay. Definite distance relay, time distance relay. So, definite distance relay. Application of distance relays for the protection of transmission line. So, I show in figure distance or impedance protection diagram. So, G is generating station and S1 substation, S2 substation, S3 also substation. So, Z is the impedance. So, 3 substations are connected in bus bar and series. So Z1, Z2 and Z3, Z4 impedances. Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 impedances, S1, S2, S3 substations, 3 are connected in series, and Z is the impedance. So GS1 generating station to substation 1 are connected in Z1, and S1, S2 be connected to Z2, and S2 and S3 be connected to Z3. These are the circuit diagram. And application of distance relays for the protection of transmission line. So G is the generating station, substations S1, S2 and S3 are in series. Let the impedances of line GS1 be Z1, S1, S2, Z2, S2, S3 be Z3. The relays at GS1, S2 and S3 are set to operate for impedance less than Z1, Z2, Z3 and Z4 respectively. So S1, S2, S3 are set up operate for impedance less than Z1, Z2, Z3 and Z4 respectively. Suppose a fault takes place at point P between substation S2 and S3. The total fault loop impedance from generating station up to fault point. So Z1 plus Z2 plus Z from substation S1 to fault is Z2 plus Z, and from substation S2 to fault is Z. Therefore, the relays at generating station and substation S1 will not operate. Generating station and substation S1 will not operate, but the fault loop impedance for relay at substation S2 becomes less than Z3 because of Z is less than Z3. Therefore, the relay at substation S2 will operate. Similarly, in case of fault occurring between S1 and S2, relay at S1 will operate. In this manner, instantaneous protection can be obtained for all conditions of operation. All conditions of operation. So observe carefully. So suppose a fault takes place at point P between substation S2 and S3. The total fault loop from generating station to up to fault point is Z1, Z2 plus Z. From substation S1 to fault is Z2 plus Z, and from substation S2 to fault is Z. Therefore, the relays at generating station and substation S1 will not operate, but the fault loop impedance for relay at substation S2 becomes less than Z3 because Z is less than Z3. Therefore, relay at substation S2 will operate. Similarly, in case of fault occurring between S1 and S2, relay at S1 will operate. this manner, instantaneous protection can be obtained for all conditions of operation. This is the definite distance relay operation. So next one, time distance relay. A simple power system with time distance relays at power stations and substation A, B and C. So first one is power station. So substation A, substation B, substation C3 are substations. B and C between at fault point F. The characteristics curves of the relay installed at the beginning of each section. Let there be a fault in between substation B and C at point F. B and C at point F. The time distance relay at substation B will trip in 0.5 seconds, while the relay at substation A and at power station will operate in 1.05 and 1.53 seconds respectively, in order that the fault may be cleared by the nearest circuit breaker. First, the circuit breaker operation. Time should also be included, and if the current breaker opening time is assumed to 0.25 seconds after its trip contacts energy, the breaker operation time is modified to be represented by dotted lines for a substation A and B. Further, it will be obvious that the distance relays at substation A and at power station will act as backup relays for a fault at point F. For example, if the relay at station B fails to operate, the relay of substation A will trip the circuit after 1.3 seconds, including circuit breaker operation also include. And even relay at substation A fails to operate, then the relay at power station will trip the circuit in 1.53 seconds. See the diagram, characteristics curves of the relays installed at the beginning of each section. So draw the graph. So x-axis and y-axis. So we can take an starting power station and substation A, substation B, substation C3 substations, and these are taken. So 0.24 switch, 0.8, 1.0, 1.4, 1.6. So first at substation B and C, and fault occurs at point F. The distance relay, so substation B will be tripped in 0.5 seconds, and substation A at power station will operate in 1.05 and 1.53 seconds will operate. This is the circuit diagram. And last one, combination of definite distance and time distance relays. When the distance between power station and substation is different from that of between substations. When the distance between power station and substation is different from that of between substations, the relay operation time at the power station becomes higher. In order to decrease the time, a combination of definite distance and time distance relays can be used for the protection of each section of the scheme. The system is so designed that for 75% of the section length of the definite distance relay close the trip contact in 0.2 seconds, and for the remaining 25% of length of the section the time distance relay operates, which also acts as a backup relay for the next following section as is shown in diagram. So see the diagram. So x-axis and y-axis. So y-axis taken substation, power station, substation A, substation B, substation C, and these are the times 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0, 1.2, 1.4. The relay close the trip contact 0.2 seconds. So remaining 25% of the length of the section the time distance relay operates, which also acts as a backup relay for the next. And so important questions. So protection of transmission lines using distance or impedance relays, fillet wire protection, bus bar arrangements, and types of schemes for bus bar protection. These are important questions. So I hope understand my class. Okay, thank you one and all.